welcome back. I would like each group to have their final presentations ready that Tuesday and Thursday. Because that'll be week 15, essentially week 16 is finals. Right? So maybe that Thursday we'll have, that last week, week 16, that last Thursday, we'll have our finals, and maybe that Tuesday, week 16, yeah, we have our pizza. Talk about some other sort of topics. And so if we come back from Thanksgiving and we have our presentations ready, that just makes everything all better. You think that could work? Your final presentations ready? Okay. We'll probably do just a few groups on Tuesday when we come back, and the remainder on Thursday. Okay, we're going to talk about personal selling. This lecture, we say head of promotional mix is advertising, direct marketing, right? So we said we have to get the message out there in order to bring awareness, brand recognition, right? Keep our products and services and our brand on consumers' minds. All sorts of tricks. We've got things like out-of-home marketing, billboards, the big kiosks, street furniture that we can use, things inside the subway stations that we can use. We have digital billboards. We can put things on taxis. Right? We can wrap it around the bus, CTA buses, Pace buses. We got all sorts of tricks that we can use for advertising and promoting that. And so we got public relations. We have a reputation to uphold, right? We have a brand, and that brand should be a positive image in people's minds. So we got to have a whole team make sure that we don't get into the conversations that they harm our brand, make sure that people are satisfied, address their concerns. Right? That's a whole sort of entity within itself. Right? Upholding the brand, making sure the brand is positive. Right? Also with that PR, you want to show off the big nature. Right? Hey, some of our employees are volunteering here. We started a charity foundation. Right? We're doing things that are environmentally friendly with our packaging. Right? We're being responsible with all the wonderful positive messages that we have out there. And then there's other aspect, personal selling. Like, why do we need salespeople? Why do we need an entire team, an entire department full of people who sell? Right? Sales group, sales force. Why do we need a sales force? Like, well, guess what? I don't know. We're selling $150,000 medical equipment. Someone has to explain it to whoever's going to purchase it. Right? Someone has to tell them about it. What's so great? What's new and innovative? How much does it cost? Why does it cost so much? Right? Is insurance included in that cost? What if it breaks down? Right? Who's going to solve my problems if there's technical issues? Hey, patients need to be seen for the X-ray issue. If it breaks, we have a technician to come out as part of this arrangement, this agreement. Who's going to go into sales? Anyone plan on working in sales? Remember Joseph said he worked in sales. Anyone else that's had a sales job in any capacity? What were you selling? What was your sales job?
Really, I guess starting to get my sales thing, where you're trying to sell, trying to sell things.
Yeah, it counts personal selling. There's a person selling something, right? Explain the menu to me. Oh, by the way, we have our special such and such soup available to
For us, yeah, for me, it's like special drinks, so it's like, it's a seasonal, and like, I do it for my Shark Bite or Shark Attack. Shark Attack is the alcoholic, Shark Bite is the non-alcoholic, I grade that up. And I make that a lot in the summer, so then also, like, Russia, like, Jello shots, or do that kind of those things, where I make my own drinks, and I have my own specials, so.
Right, think of that like this. Really good example of personal selling because it's constant. Okay, buy at the marina day? Right? What's the most popular drink? What do you put in that drink? Right? All sorts of things. You say, hey, we have questions. We want to have things simplified. We may not have the time to do all the extra stuff. Think of life insurance. Right? It's going to be difficult for you as an individual person in this life trying to figure out all the details of life insurance, the options. Thus, you have a salesperson to inform you on the options, any discounts, move things around. What if this happens? What if this happens? All right, so personal selling is a very key ingredient to the promotion mix. And we see it everywhere. Go to T-Mobile, they have a sales representative, right, sales. During the summertime, people may knock on your door to sell things to treat your lawn, right, to take care of your grass, or selling all sorts of things, right? Door to door or not door. Also, business to business, right? We manufacture computers, now we have to find out how we sell it to Concordia University, as opposed to our competitors who may approach Concordia University to sell them 13,000 computers for them to buy for students, right? To sell them all of these chairs that you see in this classroom, right? Sold by someone. One had to approach, convince, get discount, repair the brakes, right? Et cetera, et cetera. So it's a very key ingredient in the promotion mix. Beyond that, all right, great, you made the purchase. Now we have a relationship, right? What am I using to monitor that relationship? Do I have some sort of software to know everything about my customer? Why did they buy? How did they buy? When did they buy? How much of the purchase did they make? And at which day? All right, we gotta keep track of that so that we can constantly make them happen. Right? Give a phone call here and there. Hey, how's that working out for you? Anything I can do for you now? No, I'm good. Thanks for calling. I appreciate it. I'll probably buy from you again since you called to check on me, that you care. Right? That it appears there. Beyond that, then you're like, hey, you're still working for an organization, right? You may be part of the sales force. Now you have a boss. Your boss is like, hey, if you don't get those sales numbers up, sorry, right? You're out of here. I'm like, well, how do you make me get the sales numbers up, boss? Right? Well, we'll give you a 10% increase on your commission. You gotta incentivize you as a salesperson. Thus, you have to incentivize a customer to buy more too. Maybe offer them something at 10% off next time, 20% off if they do this. Make them quickly make a decision. Right? Something to positive reinforcement of some sort. All right, so we'll define what personal selling is and discuss the roles of personal selling in the promotion. Hey, we say it's a one-on-one interaction, right? You're selling. In some way, we're kind of selling ourselves. We're personal sellers of ourselves, right? What do people think about you based on how you communicate, how you express yourself, how you put yourself out there, you market yourself, right? You build relationships, you reinforce the relationship. So we say it's a one-on-one interaction, right, between a company representative, salesperson, and the buyer, customer, or prospect, right? Prospect just means there's a lot of potential people who may be interested in something that we sell. We need to know who those people are, what are their motives, how much money do they have in order to purchase things, and get all their information, their needs and their wants. So we uncovered the needs and the wants of the prospect, discuss how the product or service will help to satisfy the customer's needs and wants. Develop a relationship with the prospect. No one's ever worked in retail as a salesperson. Like at a clothing store. There's usually, the starting point. Working in retail as a salesperson, get good relationships that way. I think it's a good way to start off trying to get into sales. Retail is always good. So we say develop a relationship with the prospect with the intention of having them buy the company's product, become a customer. Personal selling is used in the promotion mix to communicate with customers. It's dependent on the goals and objectives objectives of the overall marketing strategy, segments being targeted, et cetera, right? Now, relationship selling is effective. So you need qualified, trained individuals, right? So usually each company has its own sort of training methods. Once you get hired, you become part of the culture of that company. You'll quickly see that. You may think that you may have your own personality, right? But usually what happens is that culture kind of forces you to do things and think that way. The people who typically don't usually get booted out quickly. So jobs almost become like a cult. For some people, it works well for their personality types, their values and beliefs. For others, they may find that's just a job, and it doesn't really mind about it. But as a manager, as a boss, you are reinforcing those values. You say, we do it like this here. They may do it that way, but we have our own sort of way of doing things, right? So relationship selling is effective for products that are relatively in high price. Think of cars, right? How do you convince somebody to buy a $150,000 car, brand new? Right? Just walking into the shop, like there's other competitors out there. You get the type of money, you got a lot of options. You need salespeople in order to persuade, right? All the bells and whistles. Let's take it for a ride. Hey, you have a big family? Ask some questions. Get really personal. What can I do for you? What if I knocked off this? What do you think? What the hell do you make me buy today? Right? They're like, no, not really. Just looking, right? Okay. What are you looking for exactly? What do you typically buy? Right? Don't stop. You can't let it stop the conversation. Right? So you need qualified people who can handle rejection. And the people who get doors slammed in their face and able to move forward in that regard. Right? Not all of us have that capability. Now to ask the right questions. Coming back with questions about attributes, right? Customizable. Understanding the needs and the wants. So we use personal selling as a promotional strategy when products are high in price, are variable in nature, right? They have a lot of sort of options, right? Meaning that, hey, there's 20 different types of the same thing. How do we convince somebody to make a decision, right? Too many alternatives may be a bad thing for a person to select a decision. You need someone to reinforce that decision-making process. Things that require explanation or education, financial tools, investments, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, life insurance, right? Fleet car services. You start a business and you need 20 cars. I need to have a fleet of people, right? That's a whole other sort of explanation needed there too. Types of insurance require significant follow-up after the sale. All right, when is personal selling used in the consumer market? When is personal selling used in the B2B market? Think of some more examples within your group. Personal selling. Where else have you seen it? Or what markets? Whether it be business to business or business to consumer. I'll give you a few minutes to talk over this. All right, get creative. Think, hey, from time to time we see people pop up in this little doorway taking a peek into this classroom. Right? Like, who are these people? It's a parent and a kid thinking about coming to Concord University. Right? We see somebody there showing them, selling all great years of lecture. Oh, wow, this is cool. Let me show you guys some notes and let me show you guys.
Yeah.
This and that, right? A person's also selling too. So the universities need salespeople. Think of other institutions that need salespeople or other type of products. good sales technique videos that I can show. Anyone ever seen Wolf of Wall Street? Great movie. If you've never seen it, watch it. You actually can learn a lot about great sales technique, the art of persuasion. It's really about Jordan Belfort, who used to work on Wall Street as a stockbroker. He got into the business of selling penny stocks, right? Stocks that are worth a penny or less, right? Or things that may be worth 5 cents or so. They're usually from companies that are going bankrupt or failing, but they're still listed on an index on the New York Stock Exchange, et cetera, et cetera. Right? And so really what it is if you're operating on commission, and you sell these really cheap stocks, you say, you know, if they're few pennies or even less than a penny, you get them to make $30,000 purchases, and maybe if you're working on commission, you make 2% on each stock you can sell. That's a lot of money to make, just one penny stock. Usually a lot of fraud involved in this, so the SEC cracks down. Jordan Belfort ended up going to the federal prison for quite some time. Because what it is, you're really misleading people who don't know much about investing, having them invest in companies that are really on their way out, right? Companies that are really good fun. But here is some great techniques. We'll start off here with this Wolf of Wall Street scene with DiCaprio and this other person. I had to kind of fast forward a little bit because it says something very derogatory. What's that?
Nothing major.
Yeah. But I'll just play it.
Hello, John. How you doing today? You mailed in my company a postcard a few weeks back requesting information on penny stocks that had huge upside potential with very little downside risk. Does that ring a bell?
Let me pause. Most of the people work there, right? Penny stocks, you're not making a lot of money. Maybe, college students, college graduates, people are trying to get into the business of being a stockbroker. You still kind of need a license, a Series 7, a Series 6 degree, some of them have, some of them don't. A lot of shady business takes place. But most of these people here are broken. Jordan was kind of a hot shot, trying to really break himself into Wall Street. Kind of made a deal with the guy that you saw just a second ago that he could sell his stock. Right? This is like his first day on the job. And they're like, yeah, whatever, dude. Like, we've been here forever. No one really able to sell a lot of this stuff. So we're just here to make a few profits, right? So we'll go from there.
Okay, great. Well, reason for the call today, John, is something just came across my desk, John. It is perhaps the best thing I've seen in the last 6 months. If you have 60 seconds, I'd like to share the idea with you. Got a minute? Name of the company, Aerotime International. It is a cutting-edge, high-tech firm out of the Midwest, awaiting imminent patent approval on the next generation of radar detectors that have both huge military and civilian applications. Now, right now.
Did you see the headquarters? Right? Or somebody's like share. Somebody's garage.
Now, John, the stock trades over the counter 10 cents a share. And by the way, John, our analyst indicator could go a heck of a lot higher than that. Your profit on a mere $6,000 investment will be upwards of $60,000.
That's my mortgage, man.
Exactly, you could pay off your mortgage.
Stop it.
John, one thing I can promise you, even in this market, is that I never ask my clients to judge me on my winners. I ask them to judge me on my losers because I have so few. And in the case of Aerotime, based on every technical factor out there, John, we are looking at a grand slam home run. 4,000, that'd be 40,000 shares, John. Let me lock in that trade right now and get back to you with my secretary with an exact confirmation. Sound good, John? Great. Hey, John, thank you for your vote of confidence, and welcome to the Investor Center. Bye-bye.
How'd you fucking do that?
What did he do? How did he pull that off? What were some of the tactics? What did you notice? Tactics, yeah.
I say the way that stood out to me about like that situation was you agree every day, you have to make all of people with like trying to sell trade and stuff. Like what's that pay $4,000 for sure.
You're like, hey, tone of voice is good, you come off as a friend, right? And I'm talking friendly. Hey, I'm telling you the greatest potential with it, right? I'm telling you what the medium would be if it goes up, and I'm telling you what the bottom would be. I'm telling you the greatest sort of reward we could potentially get from this thing. Yes?
Yeah, he also brings up, it's kind of more vocabulary when he said about the military grade. People think, it's military grade, this is something that, maybe the United States military would actually use, and, you really, profit off of this, and also civilian, kind of, that, or civilians to get that, kind of technology, get that on their hands, people are gonna start buying it, and they think that if they buy the stock earlier, then it'll just have a huge rise. And also he said that, not the judge funds, but the judge funds and losers because he has so few, in his words. It also, I think, comes off better because, this guy's just he's just a hot shot, and he's saying, I've had my losses, but I've won more than I've lost. And I think that's what pulls more people in.
Hey, you need confidence, right? We don't like losers. Nobody likes a loser, right? So you come off as very confident, you're a winner. Because you don't lose. You just don't. You're special, right? The other thing that you mentioned was like, hey, military grade. First thing to think of is government. Usually it's quality, it's the highest grade, et cetera, et cetera. And hey, we might get lucky because the government might give us a contract. The government who gives us a contract is not to go over ridiculous amount. Because the government is writes a check, they have a limit on money, because they can print money themselves. What else? Anything? Hey, he kept calling him John. People like when it's personal. If I keep calling your name, it's important to you. It makes a stronger connection, right? John, you understand what I'm saying, John? Yes, John. Sure, John. I got your vote, John, right? Repeat. People love people calling them by name. It creates something personal, right? Something purely psychological. Hey, we see this in campaigning and politics. Usually a great campaigner shows up like a Trump, right? Trump is one of the greatest salesmen of all time, one of the greatest marketers of all time. Maybe, I don't know about the other stuff, right? I know about the political stuff, I won't even comment on it. But in terms of just pure marketing and selling, that's what he's been doing for the last 40 to 50 years, way before he even ran for politics. And one of the things he do is says, I am the only person born that can save you. That works. It sounds absurd. It works in people's lives. And a good politician, who is really a great salesman, shows up and say, hey, you're mad about all this stuff? I'm the only person alive in the history of all men. You make it that extreme. The history of all mankind, I'm the only one that can do it. It works in people's minds because people do love confidence. People love confidence so much, almost beyond to the threshold of almost like narcissism, right? When you think like, now people are turned off by that, it's the opposite. People are turned on when it involves the art of selling, just the art and science of selling anything. Okay, what did you think? Over here. Nah, not the video, but what were you thinking for personal selling? What were some of the other markets?
Okay, we didn't talk about, so you mentioned like conflicts in malls for like, people promoting like their sports clubs. We also talked about like, having someone selling like interior design
So the little kiosk in the malls, right? People trying to stop you and try the perfume or try on the glasses. What else? Something else? Does that work on you? Has it ever worked on you? Like say you've been in the mall situation. What about over here?
Personal side, we kind of said, the example we use was like entrepreneurs that try to sell their products to like a business. Give a product or somebody that is rich. They're gonna have to have repeated meetings with that same person to keep trying to sell their product. So it's more of a face to face, and I think that actually works a lot better than business where like you can just call a business and talk about the phone. Whereas like an entrepreneur, you're gonna have to talk to them face to face, like really try to get them to buy your product.
Yeah,
That's
that's
what
what
you're saying.
Yeah, you need investors, right? Sell them to investors who want equity. We see it on Shark Tank, right? If you ever watch the show, Shark Tank, right? People come out with a great presentation. Some people are in to invest, some people are not. When I first started, you know, I was working as a real estate broker when I was in real estate, and then I was like, man, I want to get into real estate investing. I don't want to buy homes and just try to rent them out. I don't think I'll make great profit that way. And I was like, the only way is with these 20-story, 15-story, 30-story buildings. I'm like, how the heck am I going to get $30 million to buy this building? Right? I look at these buildings, I see the profits, net profit, like, man, these buildings, man, they're killing. We got to get them. But the banks, you know, it's too much of a hassle, too much of an issue with that. So I had to sell myself presentations, just the selling of the objectives of this huge amount of money all the investors come in. I don't want a ton of investors, right? I would have to register with the SEC if I had more than 5 qualified investors. I got to do all this legal stuff, and then, you know, probably wouldn't work well. And so it worked out. 5 investors or less, you're able to obtain that if you can sell it. Then they have the confidence in me in order to achieve the goals. Right? Showing them what they can make. Doing exactly what Jordan Belfort or DiCaprio did in this thing. It works. Over here.
Yeah, we were talking about like sharks and like car dealerships, how they always trying to like usually see walking in and trying to look at the car, and they always come up to me and start to hold it, all this car is this and miles, they're trying to get you to buy it. And then also like real estate agents, people who are just trying to get you to buy the house, buy the property. And then a personal example is my dad, he owns his own remodeling business, so anytime he goes out and does like an estimate for the client, it's basically like, this is the job being done, this is the price for the material and labor, one, got my number, it's kind of like the same thing, like personal stuff.
Yeah. Hey, let me show you what I can do for you. Let me show you, let me tell you about what your competitors can't do. Try to match the price, the quality of the work, things like that, right? No real estate, you go on YouTube to see all the great real estate brokers. Hey, come on down, let me show you, right? Oh my God, this granite is imported, this marble is from Italy, this is the molding, et cetera, et cetera. Upselling. Remember, we say real estate is one of the greatest scams in quote unquote luxury. Pass any property is like $2 million, the numbers are just made up. I mean, if I got hey, Peter, you bought a $50 million home, you're like, I have no clue how you got that number. Right? That number is just because P. Diddy says so. And maybe other people will buy that number, right? Some mythical number. It's not something we can measure, right? Oh, because of this, because of that. In real estate, a lot of numbers are made up past $2 million when it comes to residential homes. But those are great sales tactics, and they work. What about back there? In the back, Nathan?
I mean, we also thought about like mall, try to get like I don't know if you see like the shoe cleaner ones. We try to get you with the whole like making your shoes something like that. We try to get you with that man.
Have you ever?
No.
No. All right, over here. Anything you think of?
For personal selling, we talked about the card, which you mentioned already, but for business to business, we mentioned how our business, the little setup,
sometimes you walk into the showroom and you'll see the salespeople not pay attention to certain people that walk in. They may look like, hey, this looks like a looker. This dude ain't got no money, right? In their mind, they kind of know, they have the experience to know that, like, hey, I know the behaviors, body language, or maybe sometimes just off of how people look. They can kind of see like, let me sell them this type of car. I don't think they, even though they're trying to look at the extravagant car, we probably know they can't afford it. So let's try to sell them this lower grade car. Here's another scene. I just pulled up another scene, which was a good one. From a movie called The Boiler Room. Anyone ever seen Boiler Room? Well, I think it's like from maybe 98, maybe late 90s, early 2000s, with Vin Diesel and a bunch of other people. Ben Affleck's in here too. And here's just another prospecting scene. Let's see here.
No, look, so I understand.
I'm really busy here myself.
I'm gonna come back to you in 1 month with one idea and one idea only. If you like what we have to say, great. We'll do business. If not,
I mean, what's necessarily gonna give yourself this business idea?
whoever took that extra.
Let me just for context, he's reading off the script, once again selling penny stock. Trying to contact a prospect who's a medical doctor, who has a lot of money, trying to sell him on the side there. Busy people don't have time to hear a lot of stuff, right? You gotta make it happen in a minute or less. You don't have that much time.
Useless. Call his friends, that's fair, right? What? Doc, are you working with $1 million? Who is this again? And tell me something, you're a doctor. Have you ever heard of a drug called Benadryl?
Being manufactured by MSC Pharmaceuticals.
No.
Well, listen, okay? Listen, it's in the 3rd stage of FDA approval, all right?
Word is it's gonna be approved within the next 3 months. And it could be tomorrow for all I know.
But, I'm getting ahead of myself, and you're real busy over there, so why don't I just send you
The information you requested about the firm.
No, wait. Forget the info.
Let's talk about this now.
What was the name of that drug again? Could you hold on for 1 second?
Let me get,
See your broker, because he's a little more familiar with that particular stuff, all right? Hold on a second, okay? 1 second.
So he's a junior broker, so when he finally gets somebody who seems like they're gonna buy, they usually call more upper management to close the deal.
Okay, so his name's Dr. Jacobson, I take from the sound of it, he's definitely...
I don't want to hear it, kid.
Okay.
Hi, Dr. Jacobs. This is Chris Marlin over at JT Marlin.
Marlon.
Right, he's my father.
He's my brother.
So my associate tells me you're interested in one of our stocks.
I will call her back. Yes, the MSC sounds like it might be interesting.
Might be. Doesn't sell stock at the rate MSC's going for. Dr. Jacobs, we're talking very high volume here.
Oh, well, I still have to run it by my people.
That's great, Doc, if you want to miss yet another opportunity here and watch your colleagues get rich doing clinical trials. Then don't buy a share and hang up the phone.
Well, hold on a second. I didn't say that. I just want to talk about it.
Honestly, Doc, I don't have the time. This stock is blowing up right now. The whole firm's going nuts. Hold on, let me open up the door to my office. See that? That's my trading floor. Now I have 1 million calls to make to 1 million other doctors who are already in the know.
I can't walk you through this right now.
Sorry.
Okay.
Now, since you're a new accountant, can I go any higher than 2,000 shares? I'm sorry.
2,000?
Are you nuts? That is way beyond what I was thinking.
2,000?
Jesus! Listen, I'm curious, why can't you
Show me any more than that.
Well, we like to establish a relationship with our clients on something small.
Before we get to the more serious trades, let me show you several percentage points.
On this small trade, and then we'll talk about doing future business.
That sounds good. Give me the 2,000 shares.
Done.
You sure you can't do any better on this one?
I'm sorry, Dr. Jacobs, I can, I'm sorry.
Oh, all right, we'll start with this trade then.
Great, I promise we'll swing for the fences on the next one.
Do
to your office or your mansion?
Very funny, Mr. Marlin.
Let me put my secretary on and she'll take down your info. It was a pleasure doing business with you. Done and done.
Tactics. What was his tactics? Yes.
I think he was kind of like rushing the doctor in a way to like make a decision.
Urgency, scarcity. Now's the time. Hey, everybody's buying it. You're gonna have an opportunity to get off this call, right? Demand, urgency. What else? Yes.
That's kind of like reverse psychology, because when he was speaking to the like entry level broker, he was acting very busy and like explaining to like hurry up and just tell him information. And then the next broker was acting the same way, busy, like, oh, I have a lot of other prospective clients that are already like, in the know, and that kind of made the doctor scared, which pushed him to make a sale.
Yeah, he flipped the switch, right? He's busy. He doesn't have time. He does big deals all day, right? They don't, right? In this movie will show you, we'll talk about some ethical implications. But that sense of flipping it. Hey, I'm busy. I make a lot of money. You're just going to miss out on this great deal. The other thing, too, is flattery, right? Flatter the person. When we send it to your private jet, I have a private jet, but you will sell it, right? Keep the relationship with me, you'll have your own private jet to some degree. So all sorts of tactics. The bad thing, salespeople are given credit cards to the company, right? Expense accounts can be abused. You get salespeople out there just out in the field, they could be lying. They could be lying in those shoes. You didn't sell that much. But that commission, that incentive, can alter that behavior for the person's level. And so companies do face a lot of, I would say, fraud even from their salespeople, fudging the numbers, stealing from the company with expense accounts, right? All sorts of things that kind of have to be monitored as well too. And beyond that, just sheerly lying, right? I'll have my secretary call, like, what's that? I don't have one. They don't know that, right? So you make yourself out to be more than what you are. But it works. It's kind of like this was, you know, just gotta get the sale, I guess, some way, somehow. Okay, next we have some of the roles in personal selling, right? You can offer, you can get, you know, sort of different type of careers with personal selling, but here's some of our roles. Order takers, work to identify the customer and find the right product fit. Some people are designated just finding the prospects. Some people are designated the role to actually close the account, right? We just saw that here. The junior account salesperson kind of throw the bait out there, get the fish to bite, right? But the senior account person is going to reel that fish in. Order getters, find customers and persuade people to purchase, right? The salespeople go out and make them persuade. Support personnel, right? Someone that you could maybe designate to draft up all the language of the contract. Missionary salespeople, inform people about new products and persuade them to purchase, generally from a manufacturer, such as very technical things. Technical specialists, working at trade shows, trying to convince people to buy these machines. And then team sellers, right? Lead salesperson who brings together support personnel to complete the sale. I say don't bite the bait once you leave college or you all start looking for work. There's a lot of companies that are kind of gonna make you out there with this commission scheme of selling. They probably don't pay enough, right? You'll be wasting your time. So be very careful when you're out there looking for jobs when it involves sales positions, right? There's a lot of time wasters, I would say, out there. Gotta be very critical. All right, discuss your interaction with the roles of personal salespeople. Have they been pleasant, helpful, pushy? Did you develop a relationship with future purchases? Well, maybe just think of what are some instances where you feel salespeople have been pushy with you, that you return turn off, that they made you kind of uninterested in what they sell. I'll let you discuss this for like 2 minutes in your group. Have you come across people who are pushy, pleasant, that convince you to buy anything of any sort? Like what would make you slam the door on somebody who's not going to do it? Be right back. All right, think of some examples. Are there any stores you walked in and you kind of like, man, just leave me alone. I'm just here to look around and find my own stuff. Or was it some stores you were like, hey, man, that was very helpful. You know, you really solved my issue of finding that product. Thoughts? Another shoe cleaner? Like they were like, would they like try to bend down and try to like start doing it before you like agreed to say yes?
The recent interaction was at the big mall. I was with some people and like, for some reason we're all wearing like shoes, but you get to the, it's like, if you wouldn't want to go into the store, you don't want to, you get trying to like get us to go to the pop up, and we're like, no. And then like the guy from there like had to like basically like push him out of the way to let us in. And then when we came out, I'm like trying to hide from this guy, like go behind the other kid, and he saw us and he kept coming up to us. And I was like, no, we don't want to do this.
Yeah, well, okay. Let's say you are him and you need to sell that shoe cleaning situation. How would you approach to make it successful?
I think it's like one thing for sure to like obviously make your pitch and like you come up to a person like that's not so bad, but it's like once they say no and you can tell like you're not interested at all, like okay, not next, you know, like at that point you're just like forcing a customer. I mean, I guess for some people you try to like make them so uncomfortable that they feel forced to buy
Yeah.
something, but I mean like if that really is about it.
Yeah, we say, hey, any interaction, especially to a stranger. This person's a stranger, right? And they're coming up to you, their approach is off. Like, hey, you approach me too direct. Nobody likes too direct. I'm like, hey, who are you first? Right? First thing, maybe you can ask a question. Hey, can I ask you a question? That's a good beginning. Like, yeah, what? What do you think of my shoes? Right? And you're like, well, nice, what about? They're pretty clean, right? Like, yeah. I guess I get them so clean. How? But by like this thing, and then you could go into a pitch, right? You've opened up conversation. But if you just walk up, hey, let me clean you, like, right? You're like,
I feel like they make it too obvious, like, that they are trying to, like, sell the product, you know?
Yeah.
And they're trying too hard that they really only want the product, so why, you know, if they come out more, like, friendly, I maybe would, like, you know, interact with them.
yeah.
But-
Or come up with some humor at least too, like something to make you laugh, right? Ease the person, right? Have them comfortable, yes.
I have a personal question for you. So like in business, how do you think, like, do you think that lying to, specifically sales, do you think that lying to like a certain extent is smart in order to like gather their attention? So like in the first clip you showed us, you were saying like we got this big corporation and reality on account for the share and things like that. Like, do you think that that type of like, kind of like hyping about lying?
Yeah,
is smart?
there's definitely a limit, it's a gray area, right? It's a gray area between ethics, puffery, and just straight up lying, right? If you're lying about the details of the business or something, yeah, that's illegal, right? But if you're puffing up something, say with the secretary, and hey, listen to my office, that's puffery, you know what I mean? But if you're saying, hey, they're this big of a corporation and they're not, and you clearly look that up, yeah, that's illegal practices, right? So it's just, it's a gray area, and that's why when you get into sales, it's, sometimes you're like, man, this is really cutthroat. I don't know, I feel like this place is gonna get taken down when you work for some of these companies, because really, when they're not making sales, they get desperate, right? They get desperation, usually people start doing illegal stuff when they're are desperate. But particularly with the penny stocks, yeah, and that's why they changed so many of the laws, because a lot of stuff is just blatant lies about the companies, the values of the stock, corporations involved with that company, okay? Because the thing is, those penny stock companies, they don't have information. They don't have a lot of information that you could look up, right? So you just kind of believe in that salesperson. They're not a major corporation where you see all their sheets, their financial sheets and stuff like that. But it is a gray area, right? Sales, you do want to puff up. You do want to kind of hype up whatever it is you're selling, right? It's the greatest of all time, right? Says who? Everybody, right? Who's everybody? Everybody that buys it, right? You can say that. You can say we're number one. We're number one at what? Number one where? I don't know. Make something up. You're number one in the minds of something, somebody. That's puffery. But if you're just blatantly lying about data, you know, and stuff like that, yeah, that's a whole other ballgame. Here.
Like I used to personal experience that I had at home, when I was buying a truck with my dad. We went to one dealership back home, and the guy was like, she had almost $20,000 put down on this $20,000 truck. He didn't want to like work a deal with us, so we wanted to work a payments down and like a deal with this guy was in high school. And what he wouldn't work was like he was trying to push the deal off on like almost $1,000 a month truck payment, and we wanted to work around like $500, $450. So we went to a different dealership the next week, and like the other guy we dealt with was more helpful. He was willing to even get the payments lower than what we wanted, and he gave us these offers like a week, what it was that we could have to make a payment after it was due. And then like he even got the price drop from like I think it was 62,000 to 42 or something like that. He was a lot. He wasn't as pushy. He was able to sit there and listen to like what we wanted, and then take what we told him.
Yeah, he was trying to force an incentive for himself, right? You clearly can see that. You're like, well, what's the deal for me? I give him any deals, right? So you want to aid to the needs of the customer. And then you worry about this stuff later. You're like, hey, now I got you as a customer, I might have you for the next time, right? Or I may offer to sell you something additional, accessories or something for a vehicle. Or, you know, maybe I got a buddy that works in insurance, and he gives me a cut if I send business his way, right? And things like that. And so that guy he didn't get the deal. He didn't close the deal, right? Being too pushy and trying to, you clearly can see that he's incentivizing himself and not doing anything for you. Bad sales tactics. What about here, anything you can think of?
That's what's going on, the shoe companies at the mall.
What's up with the shoe?
They're just so like.
Are they really that bad? I haven't been to like a mall.
It's just annoying because like you're trying to go shop and you buy what you want to buy, and every time I'm going to here, I like the shoes, you know, you just get it clean on.
And so they only do it for like, gym shoes? Is that what it really is?
I
Or
guess
doing
it's
it
like
like,
certain type of like style shoes, like kind of names or anything, yeah, with, like bright colors or white that can get dirty easy. They're coming out.
I had someone almost started saying, like, my clothes are out, and you're trying to clean your sandals, like.
it's like almost giving you a pedicure. It's all right. Back there, anything, situations, whatever?
So there's one personal experience that I had when I was in New York City, Times Square. So I am walking around with one of my friends. We were stopping at Bluefin, we're getting something to eat. We go out and we're just around the corner. There's this young up and coming star in rap, and he's like, hey man, here, let me do this. And he signs his own CD and tries to sell it to us. And he's like, $20 for the CD. And I'm like, what? And it's like,
With his signature on it?
yes.
As if it's like, hey, this is gonna blow up, right?
Yes, exactly. And then
Like,
I'm
I'll be the next Jay-Z
I'm
or
like,
something.
like, do you have any like discography like on Spotify? And I'm like, I know this could be legit. I'll give it a shot. But then I listen to it. This is trash. In my head, I'm like, and then instead I go ahead and I go. So I'm like, do you take cash? And it's like, yeah, it's my only way to get anything. And I'm like, okay, I don't have any cash on me right now, but let me go run to an ATM and I'll be right back. And he was like, okay, cool. So then I never came back. I went straight back to my hotel. I was like, no, I'm not doing this. I'm out. I never figured out that guy's name. I never figured it out, but
Yeah.
once
But at least it's good tactics on his behalf, right? It's kind of like what how do you upsell, hey, I'm put my signature. Cause one day, right?
Yeah.
It'll be worth it.
He was just like, he was so pushy about it. No.
Yeah.
In my head, I'm like, no, I don't want to. And like in my head, I'm like, I don't know. And then I make it seem like I'm giving in. I'm like, I'm gonna go to an ATM and grab 20 and I'll be right back. And I never came back. So yeah, he doesn't care. And he wrote my name on the CD too. And I'm like,
So how's he gonna sell that after you?
yeah, after that, no, he can't.
Yeah.
And so I kind of screwed him over, but I don't really care. That guy didn't want to be anything. So
Yeah, you don't want anybody to be aggressive, right? You want it, that's not valuable. You're kind of forcing, you're not showing me any value. Anything of value, I'm gonna be aggressive as a customer. Give me that, I need that, right?
yeah,
So,
if you want to show off your music, I'd say go full line before you give out a CD. Because if you're giving out a CD first thing, I think you should give it out. You should try and sell the CDs to people who are at the event. I never heard that before.
yeah, his marketing was bad because he could have exposed to all the audience if he was just a street performer, right? He could have been rapping his songs on the street and people would have came up to him to get it, right? Could have created an audience to be entertained, sharing it on social media and all the stuff. Kind of getting exposure out there. Instead of this, hey, we stop one person after one person, listen to my music, write stuff on it, right? So he had a bad strategy.
Yeah, it's not your strategy. I think because some of the best artists there, they just ask business for the shot. Maybe like they do a few songs with them and they're like, okay, we'll give you a shot. Here's your night form and go on up and see what you got.
Yeah.
Yeah, or your personal connections. Like EJ King. King came to our restaurant and he was probably one of our best performers we had. And he was a family friend of one of our regulars. And we listened to him. We were like, okay, this guy's good, so we'll give him a shot. So then we had our best night for performance.
All right, over here, any situations you can think of?
In New York as well, we were driving my family and I, and there's people on the street, like on the suburbs of New York, like the outer areas, there's people that just just throw a bunch of water at your car and they try cleaning your car. So like it's like they don't even ask you, they just force this all on.
Yeah, he like, dude, I'm not giving, I would have given you $1 had you not thrown this and forced your work upon me. You're like, man, thanks for the free cleaning of my windshield. Then you just drive on. But I've had those situations too. Like, if anything, you piss me off. Right? Don't piss me off. Okay, sales promotion, right? We say, hey, we gotta give an incentive. We gotta incentivize people. Buy one, get one free with purchase, rebates. Either you tag in an additional cost to make up for these. But in the minds of the consumer, like, whoa, you're gonna really do 20%? Yeah, 30%. Like, little did you know, we tacked a 30% extra, right? So even with 30% off, we get what we want, right? You don't know that as a consumer, but that's a win-win. The point is to incentivize something, rebates. Import greater awareness, stimulate sales, spread the information, increase customer satisfaction, and stabilize sales values. How do we know the cost of acquisition, right? How much does it cost to acquire one customer? How much does it cost to acquire a number of customers? We say we take the total cost of marketing activities, whatever it costs, the gas for our salespeople, their lunch for our salespeople. We pay them a salary, right? We even give them a commission. All of the activities associated with getting a client or a customer to purchase. We take that total marketing cost divided by the number of customers acquired. And that's how we call cost of acquisition. We can average that out amongst all of our salespeople. I have to answer that. Some other consumer-oriented sales promotions. So we got consumer and then we got trade. Coupons, samples, premiums, contests, sweepstakes, loyalty programs, point of purchase, rebates. For trade-oriented sales promotion, we got allowances and discount, cooperative advertising. Hey, share the advertising with us. But we're working with big businesses, like, hey, you know what? I'll give you credit. It's gonna be free. Pay us as you begin to sell this stuff. But since I'm giving you credit, give us an additional 3 percentage points over the money we give you. Almost like a bank, right? Like, hey, we can get some extra money, I'm kind of just lending you the money at this time. I'm lending you the products at this time. Later when we sell it all, we'll get some sort of compensation for it. Cash bonuses, credit terms, dealer conferences, push incentives. And then we say the ethical part, right? Just honest claims about the product, just flat out lying. Slanderous comments about the competition, which are even illegal too, right? You can't lie about your competition. If that's found out, you could face some sort of penalties and fines by the government. We say misuse of expensive accounts, right? Hey, I'm giving you a commission, so you like to pay your bills and you want to buy a new car. Hopefully you don't steal money from the company. Company credit cards. So for some salespeople, if you work for a business-to-business sales corporation, those are great jobs, especially sometimes with this international sales. Like they're paying for you to go to Bali, they're paying for you to go to Rome to get this account. You're like, hey, I'm gonna go get the most expensive restaurant to charge on the expense account, or I'm gonna be moderate, right? Sometimes they'll set sort of a per diem, right, which we spend per day on food, they're paying for expenses and travel. You're like, hey, you know what, you didn't need a first class ticket, why don't you buy a $10,000 ticket to go to Rome? When the average cost there was $1,200, right? So you do get people doing a lot of unethical things as salespeople. Artificially inflating sales data to make short-term goals, and then bribes and kickbacks, right? You may work with some family or some friends, like, hey, just buy it, right? So I can get my sales number up, we get extra money, we get from that, we have a little scheme going, who's gonna lose, the company's gonna lose. Right? So the things you just have to monitor. And then on the other side, hidden fees to the customers. Like, hey, when they finally go to pay, they're like, wait, that's not what you told me you were gonna charge. What's this extra fee? This is such and such, a service fee. We see that now too, even when we go to buy restaurants. When we go to restaurants to buy, you gotta wait, what's this extra service fee? I just gave you a tip. Like, well, this is a such and such fee. That doesn't make sense. She's just making up fees. Charging an extra 3% on my meal, some fee, some technology fee. Like, that's not my problem. Tell me exactly what I'm gonna pay. If not, I'm not ever coming back here, because you're lying. You're deceiving customers. Ambiguous terms and conditions, where people can't understand the language. They get 20 pages on the addendum to a contract. You're like, nobody's reading. In there hidden, you got a bunch of BS in there that are gonna harm that customer later on. You hid it into the little 20 pages worth of legal writing. All right, we'll end up there. Like I say, hey, when we come back, have your final presentations ready. We'll split them up for you Tuesday and Thursday, because that'll be week 15. After that, we'll have finals week. Like I say, maybe for finals week, that Tuesday, we'll maybe have some pizza or some snacks or something, and everybody will bring something. I don't know, watch a movie or something. And then at Thursday, we'll have our finals, the actual finals. Any other questions? All right, everyone, have a great Thanksgiving week. Hope you spend time with your families and enjoy.
Is the final project
No question.
still